family and friends. It's MG. Welcome to another episode of the Reimagine You Lab podcast. And you guys know that I'm always on here. I'm coming in with somebody that's going to be amazing. You know that I don't give you any junk up in here. And so today's guest, hold on a minute. I'm about to get ahead of myself. That's just how ready I am to jump into the conversation, right? I see her smiling and everything. Listen, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? Hit that so that you will know and get an alert that every Friday we've got a new show and we want you to be able to tune in. And make sure that if you get something out of the show, make sure you share it with somebody that you know, okay? Listen, and I want to thank you guys. We are into a new season, and I cannot believe that we already hit over 100 shows, you guys. Like, we are like 120 something. Don't get me to telling you exactly what the number is, but it's a bunch. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for showing up, for sharing. I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Okay, now it's time to get into the show. I want to welcome my guest today, who is the Dionne Drummer. Hello, Dionne.
Hey.
Dionne, you do not have to be shy in the lab. Lab is for everybody, girl. You don't have to be yourself. You all right. This is a great space, and the people are going to be excited to know you. And so, guess what, Dionne? This is that time. Okay. When I say, okay, Dionne, I'm about to bounce it over to you. Tell them who you are, where you're at, what you do, how you do it.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. I'm Dionne Drummer. Where I'm at, I am at a very transitional stage in my life. I was a government worker for over 30 years, and I decided to take a leap. And I retired and took on this craziness of being a child author. And I have actually published one book, and I'm on my way to my second book, which hopefully is going to roll out here pretty soon. So it's a very exciting time, but it is definitely transitional.
And you know what, Dionne, let me just tell you, you are the first that talked about where you are at and the way of where you are in the transition of life. Most people say I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Well,
all good.
I'm in KC.
Kansas City mode. That's my hometown. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what? I appreciate you actually saying that, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the books, the series of books that you have been working on. You know, like when I think about for those meeting you the first time, right, and some of what you just shared, I'm sure there are others that had the same experience that you did. You know, some that worked for the government for a long period of time, and then suddenly there was opportunity to retire and do something different. Yeah. Because we always talk about change when we in the lab. You know, like for you, like taking on this new prowess, this whole new identity, so to speak. You know, how has transitioning been for you?
You know, I'm not gonna say that it's been easy. It's been a little difficult for me because I've lived life a certain way for so long. I've been kind of stagnant and, you know, in this everyday life looks the same kind of mode, and having to transition over to something different, something creative. It's been very fulfilling, but it has been a challenge. It's still a challenge because I don't know all the odds and ends of everything, but I'm learning, and I'm loving the process.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad to hear you say that, because a lot of times we do stay kind of in what we're used to, or what it has become our normal. So experiencing a new normal, it does come with a little bit of angst on the inside, a little bit, and with a little bit of, okay, I'm doing something new. Can I do something new? I'm set in my ways. I've been doing things, I've been doing this for so long.
Right.
So but one of the things that I think is super cool is, you're endeavoring to jump into publishing, and
Yeah.
working on these children's books. There's a moment, I believe, that every author has, that when they realize, I have to write this book. What was that moment for you?
Wow. Okay. So you guys are not gonna believe this. It was really a strange moment.
Mhm,
I call it divine intervention. Uh,
mhm,
I was literally working overtime, and I'm looking at these papers, and this name comes across my path,
mhm,
and it was one of those pow. Wow,
mhm,
what is this? And I don't know why it hit me so profoundly, but her
mhm,
name stuck with me.
mhm,
And so much so, I wrote it down in my notebook.
mhm,
And I went on to work. I came back to it because it was in my head. It was in my head, and I couldn't
mhm.
get it out. And I literally wrote this book in a week. I
Wow.
literally wrote the book in a week. But it
Wow.
wasn't my words. It it was just coming from me, and
Yeah.
it was odd, but I mean, it
Yeah,
was nothing
it
but
was
God.
divine. I
It was
think, like you said,
divine.
divine intervention. Where
Yeah,
sometimes you get a download. Like sometimes God will just, here it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Take it, my dear, and run with it.
yeah. And it's weird because this is something that I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to write all of my life. uh,
Really.
but not children's books. I never, I read romance novels. Nothing, no shade against children's books, but that wasn't my thing.
Right.
And for me to have this experience, this literally spiritual experience, and I
Mhm.
think she just came from a place of love because there's just been so much negativity, and
Mhm.
there's such a need for something like her in this
Yeah.
world.
So
She's just okay.
let's talk about that name, because it Jincy, or was it Jincy Joy, like all together, like when you said
No,
that.
it was Jincy Joy,
Okay.
which is such an odd name. I just,
I like it though.
I
I like
love
the
it. I
energy.
love it. But it just, it exudes happiness and all the good
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. When somebody says Jincy Joy to me, right? Like I can't do nothing but
But
smile.
smile.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
so thinking about that, was when why was this the right season? Was it because you had retired, or was it like, did the Jincy Joy come before retirement, or kind of was it all just seemed to kind of create this pot of the timing just was right? Like I was able to do it
It the timing was the timing was kind of weird because
Mhm,
of everything that was going on. I was still working,
mhm,
but there was a lot of turmoil within the government at that time with the new administration. We
mhm.
were going through heck.
Yeah.
Nobody knew, if you were going to have a job. We just didn't know.
Mhm.
And so I think it was right on time, but it
Mhm.
was, you know, it,
Yeah.
it was just time for a different season. It really was.
Yeah.
It was just time.
Yeah. You know what? I always like to look at and kind of see, what you get these pages pass across your desk, or what
Yeah.
have you. And you see this name, it captures you, so you're able to pen a whole book
Yeah.
in a week's time.
Yeah.
And I imagine, like, yeah, when there is a lot of turmoil and stuff going on, this Jincy Joy is something that is kind of like, oh man, I need to hold on to that because there's craziness going on in other
Yeah.
places, but this makes me smile,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, you know what? Hey, this becomes the path, which I love that. So now you've gotta tell people, what message um did you hope children will walk away with after reading the book? Like, tell everybody the name of the book. I know it, but tell everybody the name of the book, and then share the hope behind it.
Okay, so the first one is the day Jincy Joy becomes a big star.
Mhm.
Jincy is just an advocate for the underdog. She's an advocate for everybody. She comes in and she helps you with anything and everything. It's you think you can't do something. Jincy says yes, you can,
Yeah.
and she's so positive, and she sees the good in everyone, and
Mhm.
and it's just so inspiring. It really is. It's inspiring but I didn't just want kids to see that. I wanted everybody to see, you know, it's okay to help your fellow neighbor. You see
Mhm.
somebody hurting, go help them. You know,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
it's okay to say a kind word. Be nice. Hello. It's
Let's
like
start with that.
things that
Yes.
we've forgotten about. And she just encompasses all this good.
Yeah. You know what? We need those ambassadors of the good, and to be reminded that they are out there, because
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like, everybody is on the negativity train.
Yes.
And, like, I do not want to be on the struggle bus. I don't want to be without hope. I don't want to be without joy. So having this inspirational girl who is a helper of mankind,
Yeah.
but also very much an advocate. Like I feel like I have Jincy Joy days, where I am going to be the Jincy Joy to my friends and my neighbors, and
Yes.
that's what I feel like the book does. For, like you said, like, for everybody.
For
If a
everybody.
parent, yeah, so if a parent was reading the book with their child tonight, what conversation would you say that you would hope that it would start?
Um, I think that because Jesse helps a little girl perform on stage.
Mhm.
The little girl was frightened, and Jesse was a friend, and she helps her out. And I think that the the conversation would be, have you helped somebody today?
Mhm.
Because I think that's something that's important that we need to instill in our children, but not
Mhm.
just children. Like, everybody should be of the mindset that if I can help somebody, just in the smallest way,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
I've done what God has intended for us to do.
100%. Oh, I love that. You know what? When I think about Jincy Joy, even like the whole collective and the series that you've been sharing with me, what surprised you, if anything, kind of thinking about this journey that you've been on? What surprised you most about writing and publishing your first book? Because sometimes people get scared, or they get nervous, or they're not sure because they haven't done it before. But what surprised you the most?
What surprised me was the feedback. This is literally something, like I said, that I've wanted to do all my life.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to get more than a page done, if that, really, honestly. And I think maybe it was the material that I was writing. Maybe it was
Mhm.
something that really I wasn't as passionate about, you know,
Possibly.
or
Mhm.
at that time, maybe I didn't have anything to say. And now I have something to say.
Yeah. And a
And
reason to say it,
and a
right?
reason to say it. Yes.
Yeah.
And the reception behind it it's just really astonished me. I have a good friend, and her grandson, she read it to him, and she video recorded it,
Uh-huh.
and it was the best thing next to ice cream for me.
Oh, I love
It
that.
was so beautiful to see his reaction. You know,
Uh-huh.
a boy.
Hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Jincy's a girl, but
What was his reaction? I would love to hear.
he he was so into it. He was
Hmm.
so into it, and he afterwards he clapped, and he literally takes this book with
Hmm.
him when he goes to, travel or whatever. They
Uh-huh.
take the book, and it's just
Listen.
like my book.
Yes.
It's
Oh, I love
amazing.
it. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know what? Especially because when we do something new, sometimes it's like, okay, but there's somebody that was waiting for it, right? Like there's somebody that is getting something out of it. What part of the process stretched you? Was there any stretching as a part of it?
You know what? Honestly, Jincy didn't come from me, so
Mm-hmm.
she was easy. Um, the second one is Jincy Joy Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Uh, so she was a little bit harder for me to just kind of put things together, but
Mm-hmm.
it was still not a bad process. But the further I get into the series, the
Mm-hmm.
harder it is for me, because I want to make sure that my message is coming across,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing it in a kid friendly way.
Yeah.
Um, that's been, one of those things that you kind of have to keep in mind. And
Yeah. Kind of navigate a bit. Yeah.
yeah, you do. You have to navigate around the way you do things, because I might say, you know one thing, but then I have to think about it. Would a kid do that, or would a
Mm-hmm.
kid say that, or do they even
Right.
know what that is?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right. Like that's serious.
yeah,
I
it
love
is.
it. I love it. How do you say that, or how would you say that becoming an author changed how you even see yourself? Like we do get stretched and it's a process. So now, but you're an author now. Do you know only 1 in 3% of the population can say that they are a published author?
Wow. You know what? I'm so proud of myself.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
You should be.
I
You
am.
should be. That is an accomplished goal. An accomplished goal. And a lot of times like there's things that you said you've been wanting to do it for a long
All my
time.
life. All my life.
And here you go. Here you are.
And it was something that I didn't talk about. I mean, my husband knew, as I
Mhm,
wrote poetry and I wrote different
mhm.
things, but he knew, but nobody else knew. This was like my secret.
Yeah,
And to have accomplished it, and still moving on and moving forward, and
yeah.
still
Doing
having
it
something to
again.
say, it's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
very proud of myself. I
girl,
am.
as you should be. I love that. Listen, I want to go behind the scenes a little bit. Did you have a favorite part of creating the book?
um my favorite part is my favorite part, and the hardest part
Mhm,
is the rhythm to my books. Trying to
mhm.
get the rhythm of my books. My books have somewhat of a rhyme to them,
Cadence. Yeah, it does. It does.
and that's my favorite part. It's the hardest, but that is my favorite part. Trying to get it together, and because I love poetry, I love the arts, I love anything,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so it's
Creative.
all a
Yeah.
part of me. Yeah.
Mhm. That's one of the things, Dionne, that I think is so amazing is there's so much of your personality that is who Jincy is. You know what I
She's
mean? Like,
me. She's
yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah, a
Yeah.
100%, which I love. I think that makes it amazing because sometimes sometimes we don't get to be the kid that
Right.
we, you know, but
Right.
here she is, this character of you, which I think is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
seeing your finished book for the first time, what did that feel like for you?
Oh my gosh. I just felt so blessed. I did. I felt so blessed, and I felt reaffirmed
Mm-hmm.
that the decisions that I had made were not for selfishness,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
that it
Uh-huh.
was real, that it was purposeful.
100%. I love that. Do you have a favorite page or illustration or scene that would mean that means the most to you?
um I like when they're on stage. I think that is just precious.
It is. It is.
And they're
You got
singing together. It's cute.
it is. It's super cute.
Mm-mm.
Listen, you guys, you can follow Dionne at thegoodthatgrows.com. As a matter of fact, you can scan her QR code right there, and then we've got the description and everything in the links in the description. So you can make sure that you get in contact with her, stay connected, find out more about this Jincy Joy rhythm book, and the story, the rhythm of the story. It is so amazing. I'm telling you, you guys will absolutely enjoy it. You can find her at thegoodthatgrows.com. Now, Dionne, tell us about the good that grows. Like, tell us, where did that even come from?
Um, so there's very little I do without my family's input.
Yeah.
We are very tight knit, and
Mhm.
basically, my family and I just kind of bounce things off of each other, and you know, we end up putting it together. It is so me. It's me. And
Mhm.
at first, my youngest, he's like, I don't know. I mean, I like it, but I
Mhm.
don't know, Mama. Maybe you should do something else. But
Mhm.
it was just something that stuck out about it. I mean, the good that grows.
Mhm.
You know,
I thought that was like prolific.
it
You
is.
know,
It
you know,
is. It is.
I like sometimes we don't even think about good growing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like we always kind of look at, good or bad, or
yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's a good that grows, and hey, this is where it starts. This is how it held. This is where it lands. So I was like,
It's
oh, I like the
blossoming.
whole
It's blossoming. Yes.
100%. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. So, Dion, I swear the time always feels like it runs out and so quickly. But would you mind sharing? Like for other aspiring authors, there's people listening today who've been carrying a book inside them for years. What would you tell them?
Okay. So I think the first thing I would say is get out of your head, listen to your heart, and listen to God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you have something to say, then say it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Um, it's not going to be easy, but nothing good, is easy. Like it's going to come out of something,
Yeah.
um, you know. But but say what you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put your
Don't
message,
hold it
because
in.
there's somebody out there that wants to hear what you want to say or have to say. You just
100%.
have to believe that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And Dion, so I'm always telling people, you guys know how I close every show. I'm always asking, what would be your key or your three good pieces of advice that you would share with any change maker?
Mm, my three pieces of advice. Okay. Stay true to yourself. Um, Stick with it because, being tenacious is going to get you very far. You have to stick with it. Um,
Mhm.
and and be ready to change. Be ready for change
Be ready for
because change is
change.
going to come.
It is. It is. And we don't have to shy away from it. We know that, when we think about change, I always love to say, change is a choice. You
Mm-hmm.
can choose it. You can choose to move into it. You can choose to, or you can choose to allow it to run over you. But either way, change is going to come. So
Change
how
is
you
going to come.
embrace it.
That's
Yeah, is the difference maker. Well, Dionne, I have loved having you here with us. The
Thank you,
Dionne Drummer,
Michelle.
y'all. The
Thank
Dionne
you.
Drummer. You guys can find Dionne at thegoodthatgrows.com. She's got the Jincy Joy book series. Jincy Joy became the day Jincy Joy became a star, and Jincy Joy Strikes Again. Ooh, that sounds amazing. That'll be releasing this summer. I am excited for you, Dionne. I thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Wish you all the best and all the success that you can hold on to. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, my dear. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to the show. I appreciate you guys listening in. Don't forget, every Friday there is a new episode, so make sure you hit the bell so that you get the notification. And I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Share it with a friend, and I'll see you next time.